All right, so let's talk about my process right when I start fishing any river, stream, or creek. First thing I do is, I get the lay of the land, right? I get to the creek, I'm looking for things, right? Do I see any fish rises? Do I see any bugs floating down the river? I'm looking for deep pockets and deep holes where fish might want to hide, right? Fish don't want to exert a lot of energy, so they're going to want to hide in places, right? Behind rocks. Even in fast current, if we got a lot of big rocks, those fish will be right behind those rocks, just waiting to ambush something that swings by. I'm looking downstream. Do I want to start down? And I look based on how much good water I have downstream. I started downstream this case because I can only go down about 100 yards and I can't go any further. So once I finish this little section down, I'll start heading up where there's more fishable water. I'm looking for channels, right, in the river. I'm looking for holding water that's 2.5, 3 feet deep. I'm just looking for places that, if I was a trout, I wouldn't want to expend a lot of energy, right? I wouldn't want to be directly in the sun. I'm also looking for shady spots as well, especially on summer days. And from there, how do you choose what fly, right? How do you choose your fly? My confidence fly and my prospecting fly is always a streamer pattern, specifically the Sculptzilla. And it's just because I've had so much success with this fly. Whatever confidence fly you have, start with that and just do a little prospecting, right? Keep your eyes peeled of fish doing their fishy things to decide what you tie on next. As soon as you start seeing some topwater action, try to match the hatch and see if you can go after it. Before that though, sometimes I'll throw the streamer at it and just see if I might get an opportunistic fish. But start with your confidence fly, pay attention to what's happening, and if you don't get anything in 20 minutes, switch up, right? If you keep fishing the same thing for hours on end, you're probably gonna get the same result if you're not catching any fish. Switch it up, and once you find the right thing, stick with that until it stops working again and then switch up again. One of the biggest things that new fly fishers don't do is vary up their presentation and vary up the fly. Very important. Oh, there we go. In the shade. It's a good fish. Ooh, yeah. I'd like to get him on the reel, but I don't want to give him any slack. Yeah, it's a good fish to be able to hold that way. Oh yeah, that is a very nice fish. Wow. That is a beautiful fish. So the other thing important to know is don't just do the same thing over and over and over again. Right, when I talk about varying up your presentation, you'll notice that sometimes I'm swinging the fly with hardly any action at all. Sometimes I'm giving it a ton of action. Sometimes I'm throwing it upstream and trying to panic swim it back. A lot of times those different techniques will elicit a strike, right? Just swinging it all the way down, fish might not be interested. In that same area, throw it upstream and strip it down real quick, or strip it across really fast, and all of a sudden the fish panics and eats it. So vary up your presentation. Just don't do the same thing with the same fly. Do a lot of different things and you might surprise what might happen next.